Hello and welcome to AI Verdict, where we judge the future of tech so you don't have to. We are breaking down the massive shift we all saw on day one of CES 2026. And let me tell you, the verdict is in. AI is no longer just software. The biggest headline coming out of the show wasn't some flashy new app or another abstract cloud feature. No, it was a fundamental, almost seismic shift. AI has officially and finally entered the physical world.
So, the buzzword of the year, the term you heard everywhere, was physical AI. So, what does that actually mean? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It's when AI stops just being code and becomes the brain, the engine, for actual real-world systems. We're talking robots, vehicles, all sorts of machines that don't just crunch data, but physically do things in our world.
And you might be asking, okay, where's the proof? Well, the most obvious evidence was everywhere. The showroom floor was absolutely dominated by robotics. And listen, these weren't the clunky robots of yesteryear just running the same scripted loop over and over. This was all about real-time, honest-to-goodness mechanical skill. So let's look at Unit's robots, for example. Just look at this. They were performing these incredibly fluid, coordinated movements. The really wild part? They were adjusting their posture and recovering their balance in real time. That right there is the key. It's proof of constant perception and control from the AI, not just playing back some pre-programmed animation. Okay, so from full body movement, let's zoom into fine manipulation. Sharpa showed off this robotic hand that could handle tiny objects with just insane precision, changing its grip force and finger placement on the fly. But here's the kicker. This isn't some far-off, maybe one-day prototype. They're already selling these to universities, which tells you it's ready for real daily operation. It's left the lab. LG, of course, wasn't going to be left out. They introduced their home robot, Clody, and they were very explicit about calling it physical AI. Now, they showed it folding laundry, and you might think, okay, big deal. But what was so interesting was how slow and deliberate it was. This wasn't about speed. This was about LG showing us they're serious, that they're prioritizing reliability and training this thing on tons of real-world data to make sure it actually works in a chaotic home environment. But you know what? The biggest surprise, the thing that really made my jaw drop in the home robotics space, it didn't look like a person at all. In fact, it came from a company you probably know for, well, cleaning your floors. Get this. Roborock unveiled something called the Soros Rover. It's a robot vacuum with actual hinged wheeled legs. I'm not kidding. It can climb and clean your stairs. At the same time. We saw it in a live demo. It handled 5 steps in about 30 to 40 seconds. That is an absolute game changer for our home automation. So, when you see all this, it points to this massive shift, right? We're moving away from these experimental, lab-only prototypes and into mass market companions. And if you need any more proof, look no further than SwitchBot's Cat Friends. These little AI companions are launching for like $64. $64! That tells you everything you need to know. This is not a luxury item anymore. All right, so robotics was obviously the big, flashy story. But this whole physical AI trend wasn't just about things that walk and talk. It's quietly embedding itself into, well, pretty much every part of our lives, from our desks all the way to the World Cup. Check this out. We saw AI companions for your desk, like Reezer's Project Ava, which is like a physical co-pilot for your games. And then you have the hardware itself literally becoming more physical. Lenovo and Motorola were showing off these incredible rollable laptops and foldable phones that actually change their physical shape. The device itself is becoming dynamic. And then there was this, a huge move that takes AI from just being a cool visualization tool and turns it into actual infrastructure. Lenovo and FIFA are teaming up for the 2026 World Cup. They're going to capture real-world player data to create these super realistic 3D digital avatars, and they'll use those avatars in replays to help the referees make calls. It's a digital twin for sports officiating. And it's also creeping into the little things, the everyday stuff. There was Nush, a countertop robot that cooks your meals. E-ink art frames from Bluminate that look like real paintings. And get this. iPolish, app-controlled press-on nails that can change to over 400 different colors. AI is literally being embedded everywhere. Okay, so all of this amazing physical hardware needs a seriously powerful brain to run it all, right? And that, of course, brings us to the chip giants. The battle is on, and they're fighting for control of this new physical world. And it's fascinating because each company is taking a different approach. You got Intel, and their big play is extreme battery life. We're talking 27 hours for a laptop. Their goal is to make these physical devices last forever. Then there's AMD, positioning themselves as the very foundation for everything AI, predicting a huge jump in AI users. But NVIDIA, wow. NVIDIA made a really dramatic pivot. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, basically got up on stage and said their focus is no longer just about consumer gaming GPUs. He explicitly said their future is empowering machines that interact with the real world. He used that term, physical AI, over and over. It's all about industrial robotics and massive data centers for them now. And believe me, this isn't just marketing speak. They're already building a digital twin, a complete one-to-one virtual simulation of the Spark fusion reactor for Commonwealth Fusion Systems. They are using their AI to model literally one of the most complex physical systems we can imagine. That's putting your money where your mouth is. So let's step back for a second. When you put all these pieces together, you got the robots, the new infrastructure, the powerful silicon powering it all, a really clear picture of the future starts to emerge from everything we saw on the floor.
The underlying technology is it's advancing at a breakneck pace. On the digital side, which fuels the physical, you have NVIDIA's new DLSS tech that can generate 5 AI frames for every one single rendered frame in a game. That's insane. And new displays from Samsung and LG are getting so bright and accurate, they're making virtual worlds look more real than ever. The line is getting really, really blurry. And you always see these wild, experimental concepts that give you a little peek at what's next. We saw an autonomous power station from Jokeri, the solar Mars bot, that literally roams around to find sunlight and recharge itself. And Lego is introducing smart bricks with sensors inside that react to movement. I mean, things that seem like fun experiments today could easily be entire new product categories tomorrow. So what's the final verdict from CES 2026? It's this. The theoretical phase of AI, it's over. Done. From simulating fusion reactors to vacuums that can climb your stairs, the future of AI is now physical, it's wired, and it is fully assembled. It's not coming soon anymore. It's here. It's in our homes. It's officiating our sports. It's in the devices in our hands. And that leaves us with one last really crucial question to think about. Now that AI is being assembled into our physical world, are we ready for it?